Yeah, man. So I guess just starting it out, you're looking real skinny and real svelte. Let me hear the measurements right now. What you weighing in at?
Man, I'm about 255 right now. $255, man. 255. I feel good. I feel good body-wise, but, man, it's the little elements once you start pushing that 40, little stuff that you didn't feel before. Because I don't lift heavy, so everything around me isn't that. It's more constant moving for me, just moving around, being active, But it's the little things that I'm trying to stay away from. You know how it is. Once you get heavy, your knees start hurting, and, man, it's hard to exercise. It's hard to get on that treadmill when it's a rainy day,
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, I feel good overall, man, and really just watching what I've been eating lately, man. You get older, man. Some of the stuff that you used to eat, you can't eat no more. So your body tell you, what you can and can't do. So I'm right here at 255, man. So I kind of hover right 255, 260. I'm right in that.
So now let me say that's 255 from where?
Man, I ballooned up. The heaviest I ever been is 338. But I played at 320, 325, depends on if I was out at tackle, I was trying to be under 320. If I was at guard, you got to be a little heavier for what we did, that power scheme and zone stuff, but you had to be active because we ran a lot of screens and stuff. So I was like 325. But last year, to be honest with you, it kick-started because I was on this health kick right when I finished with Jordan Gross. Me and him he lost a bunch of weight. Man, he lost 60 pounds right out the gate. Man, I ain't lose nothing. It felt like I was still the same stuff. And then after a while, I started, all right, let me just get under 300 pounds. I was like 325. Let me just get under 300 pounds. And I cracked under 300 pounds within the first 2 years. 2015, I was under 300 pounds. When I went down there to coach at South Carolina, I was like right at 295, 300. So I was maintaining from being, 325, 330. And over time, over the last couple of years, since 15, the last 4 years, man, I just kind of been 305, 295, nothing really below 295. And then last year, man, that's when I really got focused with it. I did coaching, you do this physical every year. And, man, they had, as my weight, like when they give you the description, they had obese on it. And I was 295. I'm like, I ain't no obese. Like, I just took it personally. And with borderline diabetes and that following my family, I'm like, man, if I'm ever going to lose the weight, it got to be now. It got to be cutting it out, finding out what works for me, and especially going into like the all-season program because, coaching it, you guys know, when the guys are back, that's when they bring food back. That's when people start doing. When nobody in the office, you fending for yourself. You trying to make healthy breakfast, lunch choices. But when guys are coming back in the building, they got breakfast and, you got your breakfast and lunch, at least those two things and snacks. They got healthy snacks with what they had with the Panthers. They had all the, nutritionists, all the snacks. So I was able to make great choices. It's almost feeling like, man, all right, for these next 9 weeks, my breakfast and my lunch and my snack can be really healthy because I don't have to make any crazy decisions. I don't have to do anything. I can just kind of go from that. And I got to 320 last year, and I was like, man, I'm back at my playing weight, like 320. I'm like, I'm back there on the low, like just grabbing some wings, ordering something to eat to come in. And then last April, I was like, man, look, once we hit this food thing, I'm finna cut out sugar. Since last April, man, this journey has been, from like 320 to 255, So within that year and some change, man, I really cut out some stuff. And then when the season popped off, I knew I just had to maintain during the summertime. Like, don't go ham. You getting down the 305 to 300. By the time OTAs was over going into the summer, you got that 5 weeks before training camp start. I was like, man, I got to make it these 5 weeks because we traveling. My daughter was in travel volleyball last year. We on the road, like staying away from that concession stand, candy bars, sodas, and just packing something where I'm not starving myself, but just trying to make, fruit, vegetables, nuts, trying to snack on something. You know how it is. You in the gym, man. You see people eating popcorn and Snickers and all kinds of stuff. It's like gravitating towards it. But for me, it was, all right, is this my chance? And then it came competition. All right, I'm dropping 2 pounds this week. Let me see what next week brings. You know, eager to step on the scale more so than dreading to be on the scale. Now I'm like, okay,
forward to it, right?
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, you know, going into training camp. All right, I lost 12 pounds in the training camp, and it's like, okay, I was 300 pounds. I'm 288. I ain't seen 288 in a long time, man. I'm under 290. I couldn't crack this, and you know, going on and having that schedule. The schedule, cutting out sugars, cutting out sodas, cutting out candy bars, really, really helped me. You know, not necessarily counting calories, but it was just cutting out the little stuff. And then I didn't eat fast food.
Hey, you want a cheeseburger, huh?
Nah, man. Let me get a chicken salad.
So you want a double with cheese?
Yeah.
You want some fries?
Yep.
Pull around to the second window.
So taking that out was like, damn, what I'm putting in my body, you know what I'm saying? So that really kickstarted everything. And after that, it became competition of, how much can I lose consistently, you know? And if I don't lose nothing, how do I feel overall?
I think that's great self-awareness because, like, you know, everybody got a different limp. We all got a vice, what might be food, but yours might be fried food or sugar. So sugar was your deal. You figured out off top. Sugar was your deal. So was there a big, like, because everybody always talks about when you get off that sugar, was it like a big crash for you? Did you feel like, was you angry?
Terrible.
It was terrible?
Oh, it was terrible, man. I remember on a family trip, my daughter was playing volleyball. We was in Orlando, Florida. And I wanted, you know, you go to Disney World, you take the kids to one of the parks, and it's like, man, all that food and all that stuff, and I've been off sugar. And it was like the second week of just being off. I had the biggest headache ever. I'm talking about I had headache. I had to be in a dark room. Like my eyes were hurt. I can feel this headache coming on. And all I can think about, man, I need a candy bar, something. Like I've been off sugar. So I'm like, I need something to boost up my sugar, something going on. And I remember just like, dang, my head is pounding. And I was getting little headaches early on, but nothing was like this. And then once I got over that hurdle, and it was like, man, I'm a candy bar guy. I'm a Skittles guy in the office. You know, most people I was candy, M&Ms. We go to the movies. I'm an M&M guy. You get the family. I ain't getting a regular bag. I'm getting a family share bag. I'm going ham. I got big hands. I'm dipping in there going. You know? And I haven't had that. So candy was my deal. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, sugar. If I stay off of sugar, I feel better. And it's like, man, syrups on pancakes. I was cutting out all that stuff that I'm like, I can't have a pancake and without syrup on it, without butter on it, without all the stuff on it. So I'm like, I got to cut it out. So for everybody else, it was saying, man, you crazy. And then I eliminated meat too. It got to a point where I was eliminating meat, like not eating so much meat. And it was like, okay, vegetables, I'm going to be hungry in 2 hours, but man, let me eat as much vegetables as I can get, and it's going to fill me up. So that sugar was my deal. As long as I stay off of sugar, I start seeing weight loss. I had to battle those first 2-3 weeks was headaches. Small, I had a big one, but I can remember that. I'm like, man, that was the worst thing. It's weaning myself off of something that I've been on for so long.
So I think this is one of the big things that I think with everybody, all the dudes we've already interviewed, is like self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Knowing yourself, knowing, you know, what gets you going. Because at the end of the day, it's all chemicals for us at some point. You know what I'm saying? And this goes back, I think, to like our football days. Like, and this is one thing I think is the gift that we all have is that, you know, whatever the tape puts up there, whatever happened in the game, we'll sit there and watch it, good, bad, or indifferent. And so a lot of people won't face that, I think, when it comes to anything in life, but especially when it comes to like food, because food it's not like I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm just eating some M&Ms, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, after years of it, and I got big hands, and like knowing yourself, I think is really important. That shit is super huge, especially when you're trying to make that. No different than, you know, if you ain't no offensive tackle, you more of a guard or a center. You know, coach don't put me out there. Let me be successful. It's that same deal. So that's definitely, I think, something that helped. Now, it's interesting you also said, too, because when we were talking to Sid, he was giving a similar story when he was at Newberry. He got big, and just because he was around the guys, he got more physical activity. He was running the gassers. But then he realized, he was like, man, I can't run the gassers and then go into the calf and eat all the chicken. You know what I'm saying? So like going all the way with it, not just halfway. And it goes back to, it sounds like systems, like, you know, figuring out what works for you.
Yeah, and that was it, man. Kind of finding out your time too. You know, in the mornings, your time is so shrunk up. Like, all right, I got to go to this meeting. I got the early guys. I'm coaching the early guys. So I got something that fits, you know. So I got to grab something that's going to fit, because guess what? I start my meetings before everybody. Then I got to join the regular meeting. So my day is kind of, all right, in the mornings, I can grab something, some eggs, some boiled eggs, something that's going to fill me over, maybe some jerky or something that I can tie in. But my time allow me to sit down and eat a big, huge breakfast anyway. It's kind of like, hey, man, grab you a Gatorade, a Zero, whatever, without the sugar in it. Grab it them so you can have some flavor to start your day off. Because if you start out with too much water, you're going to want something bad later. So have you something with a little flavor in to start it off. And then you can get to your water and create. But for me, it was
So that's a hack right there. Is that a tip? Yeah. Too much water early on?
Too much water early on, man. You're going to get tired of water. I got tired of water because I needed something flavor pack, you know?
So you try to go like dark coffee with like the vanilla flavoring minus the...
No, I was going black coffee.
Even nothing in it.
But I couldn't do it so early, just knowing that I had practice over my head. But when I'm back in the building, I needed that black coffee in the afternoon. You know, that was going to get me through in the afternoon because I didn't have to go back outside. It's still hot. So I didn't want my coffee before practice. So coffee came. I cut out coffee too last year. When I did it, I cut out coffee.
Sugar and caffeine, boy, that's... Ooh.
I coffee. I was hurting, bro. I'm for real. I cut out coffee. And it took me, we played the Patriots. I want to say it was the second or third preseason game. That's the first time I had coffee the whole summer. Because usually you freeze yourself in the car. Man, let me get some coffee. I got a long day going. But I just remember not in training camp, not in the meeting, I stayed off of coffee. And I try to stay off in the off season anyway. It's not as so much because I take, you drink so much coffee during the season. So I was like, all right, I'm good. But I always try to start my day off with a G2 or a Zero. We had Zeros in the facility with my breakfast. That way I had some flavor and then go water throughout. But I stole reps too because I was helping with both scout teams when we was on offense, when we was on defense. And so I would try to take it from the huddle, jogging to the numbers. So if we did that 25 times, I got me 25 sprints going in. I was moving, just started stealing. All right, let me just jog over. Boom, boom, boom. So it became a constant of me just jogging, sprinting back over. That way I didn't have to stay out to practice and do those gases with everybody. Like, man, I got mine during practice. When I took over from, when the offense was serving the defense serving the offense, I was just stealing reps from then. So I was just trying to move, get to the numbers, get to the sideline, give a defense, give them some stunts and stuff to run against the offense that the other team do, and then come back to the sideline. But it worked for me, and I tricked my body, believe it or not, of, all right, that's something I can do, So it worked for me.
And I think that's what comes back to, because it's funny because, everybody's got different, it all comes back to eating less, moving more, and being consistent, right? So however that is for you, like you figured out a way to do it. When he was talking to Sid, it was same deal. So, Sid was more focused on getting it at the end of practice, but you were like, and just knowing you personally, I know you ain't a runner anyway. You probably, but you get to work during practice, so it's like, man, practice over. I ain't running no sprints with them boys. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to knowing who you are. Like, let me set myself up to win.
Yeah. So when we're doing it, it's like, man, let me just get my sprints. I got to be out on the field, and I need to get out the way anyway. Let me just jog over, sprint back, you know, and get out the way. And then, because I was working with the young guys afterwards, and I demonstrate stuff and do some stuff after practice. So it's like, I really didn't have the time to do it after practice, you know, because I want to get them going and we can get into our work, you know, doing some individual stuff after practice. And then, all right, let's head back in. We got meetings and let's roll. So
what do you think it was that made you go all the way? It seemed like you went all the way this time. You know what I'm saying? Because you did it methodically. You didn't try to say, I want to lose 50 pounds in two weeks. You know, was it just you got sick and tired of being sick and tired? Was it you wanted it? And what was it?
You know what, man? I just felt it was competition between myself. You know, I was competing with myself about something. It was like, man, let's see how long you can stick with this. And once I got over the first hurdle, which is always the hardest, it was like, all right, I can do this, you know, and I kept doing it. And the compliments, you know, you don't see you losing weight. You know, people, you know, I got on the same big 3X stuff, 2X stuff. I don't see it until it becomes super big, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, my wife was a big critic, like, like, you need another shirt, you know? I'm like, okay, let me go down to this size right here. Let me see. And then when you see it, it motivates you to continue. And one of the things that happened, to be honest with you, I was pre-diabetic, you know, with numbers and being high, and I have a family history of it. And when I did my A1C going back into it, you know, it was like, hey, man, your numbers are great. You know, getting that boost from my doctor. Like, man, your numbers are great. Man, you doing a really good job. What you doing? And he wanted to find out what I was doing. I was like, that's it. You know, I'm just doing it. And it worked for me, cutting out that sugar. It helped me, you know, on both angles of, you know, diabetes and all that stuff. So just paying attention to my body, and it just kind of, it felt a certain way looking at that scale and seeing it work. You know, it was kind of like, damn, I'm down 5 pounds, man. You know, I'm hitting numbers that I skipped, and I haven't been these numbers in 20 years, you know. I'm 255, man. I ain't been 255 since I was in high school. So I skipped numbers, you know. It felt like I went from 55 to 300 in no time, and you miss all the 70s and the 80s, all those things. But getting down to those numbers and getting measured, like all my suits and stuff I had to chop up and get rid of and take this out, take that
out. That was gonna be my question. You went all the way. Did you change the wardrobe so you couldn't go back? Like, you got rid of all the 3Xs?
I got rid of all that stuff, man. I ain't going back. If I go back, hey, that's that walk of shame, because I got to go and buy that stuff again. You know, it's kind of like, well, I save it, and now it forces me. You know, it's kind of like, hey, burn the ships. We here now. You know, I ain't going back. There ain't no turning back. It's keep it going and stay motivated and monitor yourself. I weigh myself. They say you don't supposed to do it, but I weigh myself a lot just to see, all right, what do I eat that can bounce me, or what's going on, or I'm hitting this drought right here. What can I do? And my cardio, man, I get up and I walk in the morning. I still get up early in the morning. I walk. I do something all day. If I ain't out there shooting hoops with my kids, or, man, I'm jumping on the trampoline with my kids, man. I ain't did that.
This guy on the reformer, man.
Yeah, man, I'm out there having fun, and the energy level is there, man. So I'm just enjoying it and just staying active. I think that was the biggest thing. Just keep being active and not being tired and sleepy and eating something bad all the time. It's motivating me when I see it, and it still motivates me. I never thought I'd hear anybody tell me stop losing weight. You know, hey, man, you need to stop losing weight. Like, what? I ain't never heard that before in my life. So, you know, the biggest thing for me is to continue to be active and monitor what I eat. You know, if it ain't no more weight loss and I plateaued at 255, but monitor and make sure I'm eating the right things to be around and stay healthy.
So I think that's another big thing, is like noticing, like, yeah, the scale, we want to all hit that number, but like, it's how you feel with it, right? Like, you know, because I was telling my wife, like, we wasn't eating no dairy, no sugar for like the last 10, 14 days. So like after a couple of days, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just springing up out the bed, and it's you just a lot, you know what I'm saying, easier. It ain't not as much, you know, congestion in the morning, and and it's like all those little things. You forget how much you like tolerate, like how much kind of like poison you take. And when you take that out of your diet, you realize, man, that's why it's kind of creaky over here. Was it because of the dairy? You know what I'm saying? Was it? Maybe it's a combination of it all. But I think that's another big thing I've been seeing, and after we've been talking to the dudes, everybody is, you want to hit certain numbers, like your goal might be 250. I want to stay at 245 or whatever, and I want to, fit in a certain size pants. But the bigger thing is how I feel, how I can be active with my kids. I mean, again, I'm 40 years old or 38 years old, but come on, man, this ain't it now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't my grad, so I still should be able to come off the top rope a little bit, do a little something. And that's been the biggest thing I think a lot of guys have seen. Like, yeah, I want to hit that weight goal and look a certain way, but make sure my diabetes number's right. Like with Johnny Austin, I was asking him, I was like, man, what's your goal? Like, what's success for you in a weight loss challenge? He was like, man, 275. And I was like, bro, you already 315. That ain't far away. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really doable. But he was like, that's not really my biggest goal is get my kidney function back right. So he's got an issue with his kidneys, you know what I'm saying? He has to take medication. He's like, man, if I could just get off of that, I mean, I'd take that over weighing 275, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the biggest thing, is looking at it as a complete total health deal, because, that goes a long way. It's not just, looking good on the scale, but also feeling good, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's also the big thing. So the things for you, your daily habits are: you moving every day, stay away from the sugar, stay away from them drive-throughs.
Yep.
The hydration. Did your family get on board with you with this, or did they pick up a lot of the habits you did? Was it hard? How did that? Did y'all all say Travell going on a diet, so everybody on a diet in the house? Like, how did that work?
You know what? I'm joining them. My wife and my daughter was on this little challenge deal where, how wives are, man, have kids and they trying to get to a certain size. She's been on this thing for 2-3 years now. I've been battling for the last 6 years since I've been retired. So she's been kickstart boot camps, the little Orange Theories, her and her girlfriends. They've been every morning doing stuff. And for me, it was me and my brother at 5 o'clock every morning at the gyms. I'm thinking, well, shoot, I'm 300 pounds. He 350. I'm going to help him lose some weight. But at the same time, it was helping us get in the routine and doing it. My oldest daughter, Bree, is on this Save the Animals kick. So she's a vegetarian, self-proclaimed vegetarian, haven't had meat in maybe 2-3 years. And so we had to have things in the house, unless she's going to cook 2 different types of meals, that we can limit and kind of have some things for her, protein-wise, for her diet. So our meals was kind of altered by our oldest daughter, just saying, okay, she's a vegetarian.
How'd she get onto that?
I don't know, man. These kids are different, man. They wired different, man. I got 3 other that are terrible cheeseburger, but my oldest don't want any parts of it. And but it's crazy because she's been on it. She's really been sticking to it, and kind of if she just get up and cook her some pancakes, scramble her some eggs. She ain't a vegan, which she's leaning towards. She's kind of going towards. I'm like, if she put her mind to it, she'll be a vegan. And she's been active, with her working out, watching videos, working out in her room and doing some stuff. So it kind of kick-started everybody in the house and what we eat and stuff. So I'm just following along with them. And I was like, man, look, I can't be older, limping around, and my wife and my kids bouncing around. These are the critical moments where everybody's active. So I kind of followed them. I've been trying to find what fits me, and, I found it. Now it's just tweaking it and then, all right, following this format. So
yeah,
that's been good for us at the whole house.
I like it, man. That's dope. That's dope. And again, that makes it easier for success. And that's one thing, when we was talking to Marco, was like, he got littler kids all under 6. And he was like, man, so, we on a diet, but do we make the kids eat what we eat? Or, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you trying to put them habits in there, and that makes it easier when, you trying to avoid fried food, but you went out there to get them a little kid 6-piece,
right?
And you're eating 3 fries. That's how you sneak yourself in, but it's also not giving them the habits, because you want them to ultimately be healthy too. You don't want to go through all this and then later go through the same thing. Like, man, we already know how to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the point?
Yeah, and that was us all the way. It was, since this quarantine, been on the grill more. Force you to go and buy vegetables, force you to go and buy stuff, not going to the grocery store hungry where you buying all kinds of snacks and stuff like that can just offset everything. But just being on it, kind of being cognitive of what we bringing in the house and seeing what works. Everybody's not going to like everything, but if we can do away with just frying it, grilling it, baking it, putting it seasoned up, getting some vegetables, and just finding out what everybody like, it made a world of a difference for us.
That damn grill, bro. And I tell people a lot of time, and this is, again, me figuring out for myself, maybe the world already knew, but most of the time it's just texture and flavor. It don't got nothing to do with damn, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if you put enough cinnamon in that coffee, and the vanilla flavor, you don't need the sugar. Or, you know what I'm saying, on them wings, that, like, I found this barbecue sauce with no sugar. And it was funny because it was like kind of a mustard base. And I was like, I'm waiting for like the sugar, you know what I'm saying, after you eat it a little bit, but like it give me everything I need up front. And so you combine that with the grilled wing, I'm good. Give me 100 of these. I don't even gonna eat 100, but the whole point is it's better than beating up all them fried wings, you know what I'm saying? Right. And again, fooling yourself, man, these are the fried wings without the bat on it, man. So, but they still fried, my brother, you know what I'm saying? So it's just being honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think that all comes back to and being responsible.
If when you cut out certain things and you try to introduce it back to yourself, how it makes you feel. Like, man, if I haven't had fried hot wings, deep fried hot wings in so long, and when I went back to eat them for the first time, it made me sick. Like, so little stuff kind of hit reality. Okay, I can do without it, or guess what? I keep eating them. My body's going to get back used to eating them and everything's going to be okay. But if I can cut it out and find that kind of replacement for them, in better shape. Something ain't right, so I'll be in better shape overall. But yeah, man, got to find it. Got to find that little deal that's going to get you where you need to be.
Now, I got a question historically. Now, when did you know that you were the big kid?
You know what? I hit a growth spurt from 8th grade to 9th grade.
Okay.
That was my biggest thing. I went from my dad was 5'10". I think me and him was the same size from 8th grade. And I went from 5'10" to 6'2" from 8th to 9th grade. I went 6'2", 225. I remember getting a physical. My aunt used to be a nurse, and I got a physical. And everybody I never knew that I knew I was taller than everybody. Now I was running back, y'all.
Go up!
I was a running back then. Then I was the line. Then I gained it. I've been the same height. Probably I'm at my size that I'm at right now. I've been the same. I've been the size in 10th grade. I was like 250, 6'4", 250 in 10th grade, and that was my size. I played basketball and stuff, but I knew I was bigger than everybody else just for the simple fact that you got to think nobody was big. They was skinny. You look back at your pictures and you don't realize you that much bigger than them. Till you can move them out the way or do some things. But this size right here where I'm at, I wasn't a real big kid growing up till I kind of went to high school. Like that middle school, high school, I hit that growth spurt. And so that's what I knew high school was. I was bigger than a lot of guys around,
Yeah.
Now, did you know you were bigger than the other guys around, but you wasn't just sloppy? Was there something, like you said, you was a running back? You played basketball, right?
Yep.
Basketball, not just a big dude in the post. You was trying to handle the rock.
Yeah. I Mason, man. Larry Johnson, Anthony Mason back there, man. With the fade, with the part in the middle. I was that, man. I was that. But I always played with older kids, older guys. So I never really played with guys my age. I had older cousins. So I always, once I got in high school and even growing up, I always was different in playing with those guys and hanging with those guys. So it never hit me till I got with guys my own age that I was different than them. Even running, my boy Craig, we playing for 7 years old, his older brothers and cousins and all them. So I've been around big guys, but I didn't see myself as a lineman.
Yeah.
I never saw myself as a lineman. I always saw myself as a skill position guy because I was faster than the lineman that I was with, but I didn't realize that you look at some pictures, I'm starting to be their size. I'm that size, but, it never crossed your mind till you start playing and getting older and like, okay, the strength and the size is there, but it never hit me that, hey man, you're a lineman,
Yeah,
it didn't hit.
because you just want to be an athlete, and I think that's one thing, especially as guys start getting to the top of that pyramid. You start to realize, man, I'm a big dude, but I can move. I'm shifty. I'm on the, I run the rock. I'm on a big man relay team, or what I'm saying, something like that. You figure you're just not a normal dude. Now, one thing you was mentioning earlier when people were like telling you, man, hey man, slow down on losing weight. Is it what? Because we all get that moniker, them nickname, hey, big man, big guy, and we start really like
Big Bill.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So without that size of being big anymore, we all still bigger than 90% of the world. Do you kind of like feel like, man, you losing a little bit of your identity when people don't call you, you ain't the big guy no more? Or, man, somebody, because I know for me in my mind, I'd be like, man, if I lose too much weight, somebody gonna try me, man. Like, You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a great excuse, but that's what kind of got you through in the world. Like, a lot of people ain't gonna try you because you always been big,
My mind, I'm still big. I had that experience holding a bag, and man, one of them cats hit that bag, and hell, I couldn't stop. I'm like, damn, I can't stop. He hit it. In my mind, like, I'm finna stuff it. I'm finna, man, I think it was like Trey Turner or somebody, and I was like, boom. I'm like, dang, he moving me like it ain't nothing. Or, it comes that time where it's like, hold on, man, I'm still strong. Just to answer your question, I think the compliment of feeling healthy, but still when I go back home, I'm still Big Vel,
Yeah.
And a different mindset of more of what I always thought I was, and now I get to look in a sense of like an athlete in a way. I had the biggest compliment a couple weeks ago. One of my boys, you're like, man, you look like a basketball player now. I never heard nobody say I look like a basketball player. I'm 6'4". I'm a fat point guard.
State senior and team manager Thomas Lee.
Okay.
His nickname is Snacks.
Love it.
Watch it. Comes in the game last night.
Okay,
Come
Snacks.
on, Snacks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Second half against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Watch my guy Snack.
Oh! Let's go, Snacks. Look at him.
Look at how deep that is, too.
From the logo.
NBA, right? I'm a fat point guard, but just feeling that way and feeling, the confidence in yourself and what you work for, I'm still big, in my own mind, I'm still big, but just feeling better about myself, it goes along.
I like it. So you say your dad was 5 under 6 foot. Where you get your size from, you think? Was it on your mama's side?
You know what? It's on my Wharton side because I got an uncle. He was 5'6". My dad 5'10", and he was 6'6". They was all brothers.
Okay.
And I got cousins that's 6'7" and 6'6". They're about 6'7", 6'8", right there. And they didn't play any ball. They were just big. They went to the military and they police officers and stuff like that. But they didn't play any ball. But I had another cousin that played. He was 6'7". So we kind of varied in age in my town. So, in Fountain Inn, South Carolina, or Greenville, anywhere from Greenville all the way to Fountain Inn, I was having some type of relative that had a different, he may have been a big guy, he may have been a running back, he may have been an offensive lineman. And so we kind of ranged. My mom's side was kind of short. I had 2 uncles that's maybe 6'2",
okay.
But dad's side, we kind of ranged. We even had a cousin that was like 6'8". So we kind of ranged in height and size on the Wharton side. So my granddaddy brothers were really tall. My granddaddy was pretty tall. He was 6 foot. So
yeah, because you got all the height. Your brother is the short, stumpy one like me. And
yeah.
So.
My brother, he's short. We thought he was going to hit it because he was taller than everybody and bigger early on. And so that's, automatically think, well, he's going to pass me. He's going to be bigger. But he hit it early and stopped. Even a nephew. I got a nephew that's like 6'2", but he's been tall than all the kids for a long time, but he stopped. So it's funny that I'm the tallest out of my immediate family or where I'm at, but I got some cousins that's pretty tall.
upstate South Carolina, we know that's, close to rural. We ain't gonna say y'all in the big city, but what's something like a habit or something you had to overcome? Like Marco, he was telling us, he's like, man, I mean, I always grew up in my household, you had to eat breakfast every day. And that's one of the biggest things for me, trying to break that habit of if I don't want to, if I want to fast in the morning or whatever, it's just really tough for me because, that was always our deal. You had to eat that breakfast. But of course, that's because, grandmama and granddaddy trying to make sure you're right for the day. Right. What's something in your area that you like, man, I got to, damn, traveler's rest, man, I got to get over that habit? Or, you know what I'm saying? Is it something like that? You got anything you could think of?
I got off the bus at my grandparents' house, and like a lot of kids went to their grandparents' house, and that dinner started early, like 3:00, right? So you ate good at 3:00 when the store is on, when that old school, when the store is on, grandma got the food ready. I always knew you can't take it outside, man. All the boys sitting outside, they gonna want your chicken, man. You can't go out there. Eating early and then eating again that same type of meal later on when my parents got off of work, And until you said that, I'm like, that was a big thing because I ate, I ate lunch at school. Then I get home, I ate, at my grandma's house. And
boy, you had 3 hot meals between 3:00 and 8:00 every day.
But then you got to think, too, if I was playing football, we stopped by the Hardee's or Burger King, got something to eat on the way home. So it was not the healthiest thing, that I had, in the after hours. And my grandmother was the candy lady on the block. So I had all the snacks at my disposal. So
that's why you like that sweet like that, boy. You was the snack man.
Man, I owe my grandma so much money. I was making them candy bars and hot Winnies, chips, all the new foods, man. I knew because my grandma was slanging popsicles, everything out there. So it was kind of like that was one of my first jobs, like, man, counting that money, making sure nobody try to stick my grandma up with candy bars, man.
Grandma paid me in Snickers. That's what she paid me in Snickers.
Yeah, man, I ate the product, man. I was eating good over grandma's house and hiding the bags in the big trash can.
The candy lady. But that makes sense, like, because it always comes back to, you know what I'm saying, like, when you was a jit, and I was telling the story yesterday, it's like, man, I ain't never, till I got older, try to put a clamp on myself. I always get the big soda. Why? Because ever since I've been little, my old man always give me a grown man king-size soda. You know what I'm saying? Just because, and even, he was doing the best he could, but it was probably 2 for $2 or whatever, but he ain't think the man, get him a small one, get him a big one. And so even as I grew up and tried to get off the soda, you always getting the big one, you know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy how habits and, nostalgia, we just run on autopilot. And that's a great point with food because, and we always say with sports, and especially with football, good, bad, and indifferent, after the game, you're going to eat. You know what I'm saying? You could have thrown them 6 interceptions, but you still going to get that hot dog or whatever on that bus ride home. And ain't nobody going to tell you, hey, man, you better not eat that because you sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's right. You're going to eat. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a big thing because food has been such a reward, for everything, especially for everybody in the world, but football, sports guys, P always tell the story. The reason we like that lukewarm pizza, you know what I'm saying? Because it's been waiting there since fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? It's been out there 2 hours. It's not cold, but it's not hot. And it's funny because I'm like, I don't like piping hot pizza like that. I got to be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got to from the bottom of that box, dried up.
I didn't notice. It was like, I was eating a Chick-fil-A sandwich and it was hot. I was like, it's all right. But then if you get a chance to sit in that bag for a little while and get a little, it feel like the same Chick-fil-A used to get going on that bus or coming off the road or whatever. And I made that connection. I was like, damn, that's what it is.
Hey, this is something fat for you right here, man. I'm not a fan of the hot sign being on at Krispy Kreme donuts. No. I'm not a fan of it. I'm like, man, I want my donuts kind of, I don't need them too soft and hot. I need them kind of hard with a little glaze on them. I don't need the hot melting in my mouth, man. I don't enjoy that. I just want that. And so when you said that, it kind of made me think like, I don't care about no hot sign, man. Give me the ones that's in the back right there, man. That was give me those over there, man. I don't need them real soft, hot donuts. Like, give me that one over there glaze kind of dried up a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it goes back to probably, you know, the donut sale at school. You know, they come early, but, you know, when you finally get your box in the afternoon, it's cooled off. And like you say, it's not day old hard, but it's perfect. It's right in there. And so it just go back to habits and like you said, nostalgia. It's always just, you know, can you look back and see? Because again, you don't look, most people are not looking at their life game tape and saying, man, the reason I like candy so much because my mama was the candy. I got a story when my old man was at the radio station. This lady used to sell candy in the radio station. And so that's all I ever used to do is go in her little joint while my daddy on the air. And I'm just, my daddy's like, man, how much candy you ate over there? Oh, man, he got to throw the $5 bill in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I just get free reigns to eat what I want. Like, that's heaven. But like, thanks to more still doing that as a, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. 2 for $4. Oh, man, we getting them all. And it's the same, you know what I'm saying? And so it goes back to trying to like battle them habits, but most people are just running on autopilot. That's the tough shit. That's the tough thing for sure. Give me since we talking about football and reward, you ever got an food award for player of the week, you eat here for free. Henry Taylor always tell a story, man. I got the steak of the week for like 8 weeks in a row, man, at the IGA back in Barnwell, man. He's like, man, I got the free steak every week because I was player of the week.
Oh, man. Hey, I used to have a hookup at the Applebee's across the street when I came home from USC. And the manager there used to hook me up with a steak and discount. I used to get wings, so I ain't get my meal wasn't expensive, but and he see me just cause he'll just Gamecock down and I'm from the area, he'll bring me a steak or whatever I wanted, and I used to box it up and just get it at the end. Like I ain't want nobody to know that I used to get that extra, you know, because you know how the guys is, you get the extra, they gonna want a piece. So for me and bring it out there to me when I come home. Everybody used to wonder why I like to go to Applebee's so much. I'm like, man, my man over there, I'm gonna get that extra meal that I can bring home. But in high school, our coach used to have cake. Like he used to have me or Craig. We used to always battle for the pancake. So he'll have like a box of pancakes and have our picture on who had the most pancakes or most knockdowns. And he'll go and get like a Bilo cake and give it to us on a Monday. So we used to knock down. So you only can imagine you eating a cake after practice. Like you ain't got no knife or nothing to cut the cake. You using the plastic steel to cut the cake. And all the boys sitting there eating the cake. The cake never make it back to your house. Like you kill that waiting on your ride, or you just sitting out there by the, outside, just shooting it with the guys after practice. So on Mondays, that was my biggest reward was who had the most pancakes. He used to get a cake every Monday for one of us who had the most pancakes. So that sounds so fat now that I think about it because we didn't have no utensils or nothing. We used to bust that cake up.
Man, it's the same thing. I'm to think about playing YMCA basketball, and that's why I love zebra cakes to this day because that was after every game we used to get them zebra cakes. I used to just I love playing, but I used to look forward to the snack just as much. Or it seemed like, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
rewarding.
That was my biggest complaint since my daughter started playing softball because I'm like, all right, I'm ready for snack patrol. You know what I'm saying? Because when you play Little League, every game somebody gonna get the Gatorades, and then somebody mama gonna get real freaking get you the bottle Gatorade. Man, y'all boy killing it over there versus somebody give you just a little cheap RC Cola soda can. You be like, who mama was on it? So when my daughter started playing softball, I'm like, man, to be honest with you, I want to be the snack man. So I'm like, who's in charge of the snacks? They like, man, everybody out here for themselves. I was like, man, y'all cheating these kids. Y'all want to help them. But it's probably for the best because, like you said, that was the thing you look forward to, hitting that snack stand up or getting that soda or that nab after that damn Little League game for sure. But I was hurt, boy. I was crushed when they was like, man, nah, everybody out here on their own. I was like, man, I really wanted to be the snack guy, man. But that's just, again, me being an inner little fat kid, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what you always got to battle. That's why it's so important to try to get these kids these habits younger on because it's tough, man. Once that boulder get too big, man, you just be like, man, I'm going to give up. You know what I'm saying? And even us as big alpha males who high achievers, it's tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like listening to Marco and it's really a mental thing. And it's not like we don't physically know how to work. The work for us is the consistency and the eating habit, because y'all
Right.
boys know how to output. The biggest thing is always the input. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely big. But again, it goes back to knowing who you are, kind of being self-aware. Damn. So, couple more. What's one thing you would eat if there was no repercussions? Like no calorie, you ain't gonna get no heartburn. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna hurt the other way going out as it did coming in. What's one thing you would eat if there was no repercussions every day?
Man, they gotta be. I'm a wing guy, man. It gotta be a wing, because wing got so much variety, man. You can go barbecue one day, you can go hot one day, you can go lemon pepper, you can go a little mix or something. I think wings and French fries are like the best comfort food because you can eat enough fries and go dipping in. I know it sounds so fat as I'm sitting here, but I'm sitting there like, man, you can watch a ball game, you can watch a movie, you good, and it's get your wings, give me them flats, and I'm good to go, man. Give me them flats and I'm good to go.
I have been converted, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was a drum dude. I was an all drums dude. And somebody messed around, got the order wrong one day and gave me all them flats. I get it now. I get it.
Man, I know. I was the same way. And then I was like, man, I started messing with them flats. And then I heard my mama talking about some flats one time. Who had all the flats at it? She took them like, okay, I heard these flats for so long, growing up. Now it's in my head that's what I want when I go and get some wings or something when I was eating wings. But wings are like my comfort food because I can go with a variety and be good,
Dry rub, wet rub, mix them.
Yeah, you can get some little wings and you can just go and have a good time. So
Hell yeah. What's one thing that Travell Wharton from Travelers Rest, South Carolina
Fountain Inn. Don't give me no
my fault. Fountain Inn, man. Because again, it's a Fountain Inn, South Carolina. What's something you eating right now that you never thought you'd be eating in your life? Like you'd be like, man, let me get that arugula. Let me get that. That boy Johnny the other day gave me a good one. I think he was saying something like quinoa or something. I was like, quinoa?
I would say squash and asparagus is something I never thought I would just eat. Like when you hear about asparagus, I think about, man, I go to a nice steakhouse and they throwing some asparagus in there. You just saying asparagus because you got a bunch of potatoes and everything else. And he's like, man, let me get some green on it. But asparagus, and you give them salt and pepper. I don't need no sauce on. Some squash. I'm still not a carrot or celery guy. Even with all my wings and stuff, I still don't eat it. But my vegetable intake has really increased because kind of like, man, you can eat as much of it as possible without saucing it up, just seasoning it up enough where it ain't going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So my vegetable
coming off the grill hot.
Yeah, squash and asparagus are two that I'm really on besides collard greens. And that's always a go-to. Like, man, just give me some collard greens when I want some greens. But that's been crazy that I like squash the way I did because I don't never remember eating it, growing up in my grandma's house and at home with my parents. And like, I never just thought about squash, even though they ate it. But as I get older, like, man, I like some squash and asparagus. So those are two things that I never thought would be a part of what I do now.
Little red onion and asparagus cut up, sauteed, that thing. Woo! It's funny, this boy was sending me pictures the other day. He was like, bowl of Brussels sprouts char, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, you put some balsamic vinegar on it? Like, never would have thought these dudes be having conversations like this, man.
I would have never thought. I mean, I had some charred Brussels sprouts with like some balsamic on it, and I was just eating them just like snacking on them.
Man,
they were good. Great. I would have never thought that.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts. I'm still not a broccoli all the way in. I guess I ate broccoli so much with cheese.
Yeah.
And I like the smell of broccoli right now. Like, man.
So I got a little trick for you, my dude. Try it on that grill. So same way you do with the asparagus, salt, pepper, olive oil. Just chop it real quick. It hit a little bit different. Because like there was a point, like I eat broccoli all the time. But then I was like, man, I'm tired of like steamed. I'm tired of sauteed, bro. But then I think I went to a vegan restaurant and they charred it and like used it like dip. They had like a dip with it. That thing, Change the whole game up. Because I was like, man, I'm done with broccoli, man. Matter of fact, I'll do cauliflower over broccoli. Don't bring no more broccoli. Matter of fact, I just was in the store and I was like, I ain't getting no goddamn broccoli. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know that shit, but like that charring it, that grill, man, is as long as it's hot, bro, hot and just, a little bit of salt and pepper, it'll take care of you. It'll get you over the top.
Well, I'm going to put something on the grill because I was off of it, man. I was on it so much. And like, I don't want no more broccoli.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I already know. Damn, I think that's about it. You got anything else, P?
No, I'm good.
And that was great, man. Because just like I said, man, it's all, I mean, you, in a roundabout way, you hit all the questions and stuff we were talking about because, like we said, that's always the biggest thing with guys trying to lose weight. I'm glad you brought up George's name too, because I want to hit him up too and rap with him because, get his perspective on how he lost weight and because he's been able to keep it off too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, was he a big cycling guy? Was he biking and doing that shit or was he running?
Man, we did a trail run, but he's a runner.
Okay. Because, like, I see, like, of course, everybody on the Peloton now. So, like, every day I see, like, Cole Kubelik, them boys. Like, so it's like him, Yanda. They somehow hooked up all of they cycling junk and they, like, ride at the same time wherever they at. You know what I'm saying? Virtually. So, so they all be in there getting it. But, like, it's funny because, like, Marco was talking about Peloton. He's like, I can't stand that shit. Like, he's like, man, I just don't feel like I get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be on there for an hour, but like, I just don't feel like it really do nothing for me. And I get it because you can be on that seat for so long. I'll be like, it's just started tearing your ass up. And I'd rather be on a regular bike with my, you know what I'm saying, go out with my daughter. And it's the difference between riding a bike in the wild versus riding a bike in the gym. You know what I'm saying? There's always a difference. So,
man, that treadmill, heavy incline treadmill, man, just finding that was helping me when I even got out and started moving around. It's like, man, you don't realize how much those muscles move when you walk in comparison to just running, just like, man, I find different things because I get tired of just the same thing. But I just felt like, man, you just stay active. I got a little hill in my yard. I tell my kids, man, run up to that gate right there. Run up there and do some jump rope. You'll feel everything that you just did, So
my little one hit these 10 squats, sprint up that hill, or you know what I'm saying? Or same way, a bear crawl up that hill, crab up that hill backwards, forwards, you know what I'm saying? And that's the what my girl got on. What kind of fit my girl got on? She got that pink and the purple on. Is it a onesie? You got them ears pierced? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Preston. That's what I'm talking. Fuck that diversity and inclusion. We gonna go get this baby ears pierced, man. That's what I'm talking about, cuz. Did you have to go to a certain golden Buddha in the mall? Did you have to go to the Dutch Square Mall to get it done? Because the one
they do it at the doctor's office now, man.
Oh.
They do it at the doctor's office now.
So they ask you, do you want your child's ears pierced?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh, man. I love it, man.
Yep.
I love it. So I'm assuming same day they give her a shot, they just go ahead and say, man, let's do the ears too?
No, it was a special appointment.
Okay.
And they give you it's some sort of little plastic joint that they got to keep in there for a while, but
keep the keloid or whatever.
But you ain't got to do nothing to it. Just wash it. That's it.
That's what's up. Hell yeah, boy. That's what I like to see, man.
So Travell, now, what would you say your movement consists of now? Pretty much, you say you still walk in the morning and then.
Yeah, I walk in the morning. I still go out there and if they want to get on the bikes in the afternoon, we ride bikes and stuff like that. My little neighborhood got a lot of hills in it, man. You don't even see them. They catch up with you, man. Ears and everything else. So if they want to do that, walk. We kind of hit some trails and stuff. I don't hit the trails now. No snakes out, man. I ain't messing around.
I seen one this morning. I was like, is this poisonous or what? This thing had a lime green stripe. I was like, man, let me get up out.
Yeah, I don't mess with them snakes.
Yeah, that's cool. January, February, when it ain't super cold, to get out and hit some trails where you can see what's going on. But now just kind of hitting the road a little bit, but just being active, man. I make it my business just to stay active. Just move around. If they want to shoot hoops, get out there and mess around with them. But I get that walk on every day. That's kind of my routine to get my day started, get that walk in. And, you know, depends on the weather, whether I go down and hit the treadmill and just incline it, throw my headphones on it, give me a good 45 to an hour, just walk. Kind of give me just my own little me time, too, of just
That's beautiful.
And find it in what I got to do for the day. Kind of.
When you walk, are you a music guy? You a podcast guy?
Depends. I can get tired of both. It depends on what's going on right now, kind of podcast. I made a little playlist. I got like stadium music to get me going one day. I got this, I got that. So it all depends. Early on, when I first started working in DC, I was kind of, I was like, all right, I ain't finna jump right into it. I ain't moving fast, just kind of seeing what comedy deals on Netflix.
She said, well, what did your mother say? I took a deep breath. I looked at my friends. I was like, it's about to go down.
That way I don't have to watch it. I can just listen sometimes and just go just to hear something else. And then next day I may want to just be music, you know? So I try not to be the same every time because I get tired of it after a while, you know, especially if they got music going on in the weight room and then you take it off, you can kind of get caught up in that and just take them out. But I kind of went both podcasts, Netflix, not a movie or nothing, but like the comedy stuff just to get something going, just to hear it where I don't watch it.
I like that. Comedy. That makes sense, though, because I'd probably lighten the mood and shit.
Yeah. You get to laugh, and it's like, man, all right, let me keep my balance, though. Let me not. But, you know, I caught a lot of little specials on Netflix, man. You hear somebody talking about them. Because if I go back to the desk and I'm doing something, I ain't getting nothing done if I start watching it then. I'm watching it then, but at least I know, all right, I can be out the window. I can be, you know, hearing it and going from there.
So do you think that walk every day, is that something you do? Ain't no days off for you with that? It's like every day you try to get at least them walks in. Is that kind of like your stress reliever?
It is. It is. For the next day, just getting it going, kind of get my brain going, you know. I get up in the morning because if I don't do it then, it's kind of hard once your day gets started and you got meetings and stuff like that. And then you trying to put it off or it's too hot. Or
it's hanging over your head or something.
Yeah. So if I get it going, it kind of is like, man, you just walk for that hour this morning, kind of keeps you straight on, all right, you got it in this morning. And right now we getting some great weather. So it's like, all right, get up in the morning, go and walk outside. You know, school's out, go and walk outside. You know, it rained this morning here. So I'm like, all right, get up, just get up, get it going. Let's go and get this walk in.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's the other big thing. I think a lot of guys, like we're talking about, you know, stress reliever. So more so for us, we can't work out like we used to, but the workout is more so like the outlet for stress, just for, because, you know, everybody deal with it in a different way. So Johnny was talking about, man, I love to work out by myself, but then, you know, I got to make sure my family work out. So I got to kind of get like 2 workouts in. I got to sneak off and get my me time. And then I got to catch them boys a little bit later, but I can't give them boys first before I take care of me because it's just tough. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my kind of de-stress time. You know, I love my wife, love my kids, but, and that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's nothing wrong with that's not being selfish or anything.
You got to take care of yourself and get yourself in that mental state before you can do anything else. Because if you ain't right, man, it's going to mess the mood up for everybody, you know, because a lot of people, you know, your families kind of feed off how we feeling. You know, you go in there with a scowl on your face, man, they gonna kind of feel a certain way. You go in there like, I'm good now. Mm-hmm. I used to love it getting up in the morning, going to the gym. We had that little group of people that was doing it before all this quarantine of just going in there, get your machines, get it done, you know, and be done for the day. So that was kind of a routine that I love. I love getting up and get it done.
And that's another outlet for like fellowship, because that's, I mean, again, that's another thing I think all men need to like figure out, not just one certain group, but like a bunch of different groups. So, because, you know, you can talk this way with your older heads, but then with your football dudes, you talk a different way. But again, you're getting everything you need, you know what I'm saying, outlet wise, so you can, you know, have those conversations and stuff and not just, you know, eat your feelings or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Drink your feelings, or that's huge, for sure. For sure. Well, shit, man, I know you about to go out here and get another round of steps in or something, man, so I'm going to beat you to it here. I already know. See, I already know. I'm going to beat you to it. I'm gonna go out here, get this one going here myself. She trying to get her on this daily swing schedule. So see what happens with that.
Hey, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get these kids out here and beat them in some basketball, man.
Mm-hmm. Again, if I could just get that phone out that face for an hour, boy, shit, I won. That's how I look. I won.
I bet.
Because we done. I don't know. Y'all use this in your crib, Bill. Like we put the joint on there so it cut on and cut off at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
I caught them boy the other night. Woke their mom up. Hey, what's the passcode? And she looked at her almost getting. She's like, "Nah, I ain't telling you the code." That shit was smooth though, bro. I was like, "Good try."
Oh,
but
man.
even with that, because we try to cut it off during the week at like 10. I go back in there and change it. She cut it off at 11. I try to change it to 10. So at least I know she ain't just full going, you know what I'm saying, up there in that bed for 2 a.m. every day. You know what I'm saying?
Man, my oldest, she love it. Like just they kind of easing themselves in social media, and we kind of give them some parameters of what to be on and what not to be on. But that was coming so hard with all kinds of things to be on, man. It was like,
man.
Once you figure out one thing, hell, it's something else. But my niece was kind of helping us too. She's gonna go off to school, kind of monitoring. So you had that because we were ranging ages where we can get some stuff done. But man, we kind of limited to, they mainly TikToks now, making these little TikTok videos and stuff like that. So, but still just monitoring all this stuff because you just don't know. Everything's at the address. You a wrong domain and you don't know what you're falling into. So
yeah, and you gotta have, like you said, you gotta have your niece or somebody who's closer to that age to help keep it. We old now, so it's like, hold on, what you talking about? What's that?
It's amazing how that works. Like my sister asked me to talk to my nephews, and my niece talked. How I asked my niece to talk to my kids, and how that kind
village. We need the village, boy.
How it work, and it's kind of it's the different maturity ages that you're dealing with and people that they listen to. And it's one of those deals like, man, I think I'm still young and cool, like, but I'm dad, and that's the respect.
This how I know I ain't young and cool, because them boys posted something and I looked at all her little friends' comments, but them boys is all speak in emojis and hashtag. The wildest, I'm like, and I had to ask, I was like, man, what does hashtag mean? And I was like, so it's like, the new one is like BFF something. And I was like, what is that? What's that mean? She's like, that's like my best friend for, I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what does it mean? Like lesbian? What that mean? You know what I'm saying? My best friend lesbian. I was like, what's up? Like, I'm just trying to see but it's like 100 middle schoolers comments. And then, I'm looking like, who's an old head in here messing, you know what I'm saying? Even it's all private. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Got to.
Man, I need somebody to show me the way. Teach me, because they on a whole different game than what y'all boys think y'all on. Like,
and my niece been a lifesaver, man. She been hip. Like, I was like, man, I appreciate her, man. And now she's going off to college, and it's like, all right, honor to her. Let me see what's going on in her life. She's going to college. She's going to be a freshman that quick, It's like, damn.
That's you talking about aunt daughter?
Yeah, she's coming to USC, and it's like, man, you just a baby, Now it's like, that's what college is, feel. All these kids young, man. We was in college when she was born.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, golly, that go by so fast, man.
Flies, man. It damn sure. It flies, Preston. It flies. Them boys are getting the other ring in their nose and the eyebrow and the lip before you know it.
Man, in 10 years, I'm going to have 3 girls out of this house, man. That's kind of crazy. And 10 years ain't long at all, man. I'm sitting there like 9, 11, 14. Like, shoot, 10 years, man. A lot of things can happen in 10 years,
Yes.
So
damn sure can. Damn sure can.
Yes, sir.
Shit, man, I ain't going to take too much more of your time. P, you good? We good?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you.